So what I was thinking we could do, since there's just two of us, is we've got baby speculation on the brain, right?
We do.
What I wanted to try and do was name that Dane. So, why don't you lead us off? We know the sex, right? But baby's maybe birthday, which we probably know is going to be today. Give us a time, give us a weight, and give us a length, right? And I'll keep track.
I'm going to say that the baby will come at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow.
March 10th, and you're saying 4:30 a.m.
Yep, 4:30.
All right, and what's the weight?
A nice, healthy 7.2 pounds, 18 inches.
All right, so you said 310 to Yuma, 4:30 in the morning, 7.2 pounds, 18 inches. All right, so are you saying, what's your over-under, weepy or non-weepy Dane? Because he'll admit it. He'll say, I cried or I didn't cry like a baby.
I'm going to go weepy Dane.
So I guess I'll go the opposite. I'll go non-weepy, and then I'll say 3-9, as in tonight, before midnight, so we've got a few hours. I'm going to say over 7.2. So if it's 7.2 or less, you win. If it's 7.2 or more, I win. Dane's not big and Brittany's not big. I'm going to say under 18 inches. So if it's 17.9 or less, I win. If it's 18 or more, you win.
Deal.
I've got our record here. I don't know what the hell this means, but we'll go with it.
We'll go with whoever was right in the most categories gets a beer from the other. How's that?
We got 7 categories.
3 out of 4.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Whoever gets 4 gets a beer.
Dane has to buy it, though.
I'm not sure why Dane would have to buy it.
Because he's buying the farm, man. It's his baby. Anyways, all right.
This is a restricted area. Drill or something? Negative. Fine by me. I hate drill. Ah! You crazy mother.
Welcome to the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club, Craft Brews and Geek News. Sit back, pour yourself a pint, and let's get into it. Now here's the founder of the Brewmasters Club and your host, Donnie Gallagher.
Hey, Loss, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. And Ryan, good to see you tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Cool.
Very glad to be here.
So, you had a busy week. Do you want to talk about what you were doing on Wednesday? Because since you did spend some time with Gus over this last week, did you guys learn anything more about Hanapa, like what's going on, kind of what's going on? Because we're in the middle of beer week right now. We don't play a huge piece of Tambay craft beer week, but I'd love to know like what you guys discussed.
So, if memory serves me correct, I was wrong last week when I said there's 100 beers to try. There's actually 300. So there was an official letter that he had with the wristbands that he got. So it said 300 on the paper, and I'm not going to get to 300 of them. But it's not just beers all across the country. It's beers from all over the world. Like there are literally a couple dozen, different breweries from across different countries coming to this thing. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm going to try to get a pamphlet and try to take a poster or a picture of it and put it on Twitter best I can for everyone to see the different beers that we've got the opportunity to try. And I'll definitely post my favorites and the ones that I didn't like. But the other thing that I learned is I guess they had like Cigar City puts out back one of their own Cigar City trailers where they've taken the Honopu and they kind of do some different things with it. So it's not what's going to be in the bottle, but they'll like barrel age a couple different things. And so you can try a little bit of tasting of that. And they just do a whole bunch of different things with it. So I'm really looking forward to trying out at least some different variations of Honopu and seeing how it compares to what we're going to be hopefully taking home in the bottle. So I know I said last week we might get to take home 4. Not too sure how that's going to work out because I think it's just a guest wristband. But even still, we're going to be there and we're going to be enjoying ourselves with a plethora of craft beer. So that's kind of the things that we talked about on that podcast.
I'm like super stoked. So what Ryan's referring to is that Ryan spent some time with Gus, our good buddy, and learned some insight on what's going on with Honopu. But what I'm most excited about, Ryan, is just because like your beer journey, man, has been like so it's been such a, like a fantastic kind of like trek that you've done, because like you came from not really know a lot about beer, but like wanting to, and now like, and this is the whole mission of what we're trying to do here, is just to get people to like beers. So the fact that like you've grown so much from where you came, and you're kind of enjoying beer now as you are, I'm like, I love it, man. So like I'm excited for you to hear and to learn and to see kind of like what's going on at Hanapod, and just like enjoy it, and really just like take some pieces away from it, because I think you would have dug it the most. Am I right, Last Man?
Yes, sir.
There he is.
There he is.
Oh, here I am.
Here
Sorry
you
about
are, man. No problem, dude. We're just talking about Ryan's he spent some time with Gus, our buddy Gus, and
I did.
Yep, and he's gonna be hanging out at Hanapupa.
I always thought it was Hanapa, and then I talked to Neil at Florida Craft Beer Day a couple weeks back, and he pronounced it Hunapu. So I'm going with Hunapu, and I've been trying to like correct myself as I go along, and I don't know, however you say it, there's 2 H's and a couple U's and A's in there, so I don't think there's a right or wrong way to say it.
But of course.
So Ryan was just kind of giving us the Hanapa breakdown, and I was just saying that, it's kind of cool just to hear both of you guys, man, like you too, Lost Man, because you're enjoying now like more and more beers that you probably never ever would have thought you would have enjoyed, and Ryan's the same kind of way. So he's enjoying some stuff, breaking out of his comfort zone, and he's learning a lot and making some friends, and clearly getting some hookups. I heard Gus just freaking throwing bottles to you guys, like that's cool, man.
I mean,
like,
he invited us over Sunday, and we come over last night, and he had got some pizzas and a couple salads, and so we were just kind of chit chatting. And I walk around to his little living room, and he's got a bucket of ice filled up, and he's got like 13 different bottles in there. I'm like, you do realize I have to drive home, like,
how am I not invited to these though? I don't understand. Like, why am I so?
That's not.
It's fine.
That wasn't my intention.
I wasn't really putting you on the spot. I'm just saying, like, come on.
This one was a Wednesday, but you're invited to the day because he's gonna have a pool party, and we're gonna do the releasing of the oatmeal stout, and you guys are invited. So
when is that? When is it put on the calendar?
It's a week to 2 weeks after I bottle that beer. So
when would that date be? Let's do some math.
What are we? Calendar. Like the last Sunday of March or first of April, something like that. Because he said that he's going to invite a couple of his friends over. I'm like, Gus, you're putting me on the spot. I don't even know if this beer is going to be good yet. Like, we haven't even tried it yet, but I think it's going to be great, and that'll be a fun time. And I'm sure he'll bring a couple other beers to the party. So, but yeah, I mean, we tried like 12 or 13 different beers last night, and some of them haven't even been released for more than a week. So.
Wow.
Good. Yeah. Well, we're gonna do all we can to get that audio up. But in the meantime, I have a couple of beer stories if you guys don't mind getting into them. Lost, glad you joined us. First off, the ratebeer.com named Cycle Brewing Company the best brewer in Florida for 2016. What do you guys think about that? Has anybody had any of this Cycle Brewing?
Yes. Nope. I had their porter, their Cycle Brewing porter, and I've had their IPA.
What do you think?
I mean,
best brewery in Florida?
I don't know. Well, it says best brewer. I don't know so I don't know how you determine who's the best, because we've met a couple of really good ones. I'm sure maybe based on the styles of beer that he was brewing, it fit most to what most would expect with the palate. I don't know how they rate that. Like, is there a procedure? Is there how do you travel to all the different breweries in Florida and compete? Because they don't have, like a Funky Buddha Last Snow. They don't have a Cigar City Highlight.
This is a survey from ratebeer.com. So, like, technically it's all the reviews and shit that they get.
Oh, okay.
All year
so
long,
it's people voting on it. Oh, well.
No, it's one guy. It's Laos. He travels around and he tries all the beers. Right, Laos man? You can tell him how.
Well, I do if I'm quick enough, but they usually figure out I'm onto them, and they say, "Hey, get out of here!"
Scat.
Out of a fire escape. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
When I see Cycle Brewing Company, I think of there's like 2 breweries in Dunedin that I really love, and it's CUNY. Have you guys heard of CUNY Brewing Company? It's across the street.
CUNY or whatever you. Yeah.
CUNY. Yeah.
Or CUNY.
CUNY. Brewing Company.
We need Dane for the pronunciation.
Yeah, I know. It's like caca. Yeah. It's CUNY Brewing Company, and it's across the street from Dunedin Brewing Company. It's really cool. I love their space. Their beers, they're very, very small batch. It's kind of like a Craft Life and like a In the Loop kind of meat. But they're the epitome of like a small brewery. But they've won some good awards, and I honestly kind of like them. So I don't know. When I hear Cycle, I don't know anything that Cycle's made that I've like loved, but.
They do have a. I've got to say they do have a really good porter, and that was my halftime beer from watching the Steeler games. O'Brien's carries it, and I would be able to go up there, and I had my that was my halftime beer. To be honest with you, I was like, yeah, let me get one of those. But I've not tried anything else. They don't have anything bottled here in Tampa, and not many places carry their beers on tap. So maybe it was just a lot of people that only know of Cycle Brewing that were able to vote, and they just voted the hell out of it. But still, a good company nonetheless. Like, I don't want to underplay that. So,
okay, cool. Well, moving right along. I mean, unless Lassie had any final thoughts about Cycle Brewing.
I got to be completely honest. I've just not heard of them ever.
Yeah. They're not super huge.
They're you know what though, they do a good job, I think, with the taps too, because it's got a big cycle on the front of it. So I don't know, just look for it, and I'm sure you'll love it. But
hey guys, I got a brand new idea. Right?
Ready?
Craft beer hotel. We talked about this in our fucking second episode. Our second episode.
Stone Brewery or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Totally different. This is a competitor to that hotel. This
Do
is
they
a
have beer in the room?
Well, they have an IPA jacuzzi.
No.
Oh, wait. I like that.
No.
Steeped it up.
Wait.
Steeped it up a second. Let me break it down for you, bros, right now. The world's first
Hops instead of chlorine.
That's exactly what they're doing. The world's first craft beer hotel brewery coming to Ohio of all places. They're crowdfunding. It's a contribution of $150 will get you one night stay in this crowdfunded hotel. It's a Scottish beer company called Brewdog that launched an Indiegogo campaign for what they're calling is the world's first crowdfunded craft beer hotel. The 50-room hotel, The Doghouse, will be attached to the Brewdog's upcoming brewery in Columbus, Ohio. Since the hotel is run by a brew company, it's naturally coming with a state-of-the-art beer-themed amenities. Every room will have a tap featuring the Punk IPA, the brand's flagship brew, and a beer-stocked minibar in every shower. Have we not talked about this?
Shower beers.
Yeah. So you'll never go a second without beers in hand. Access to limited edition brews from the brewery next door, and a spa that uses its beer products in treatments such as hop oils and a malted barley massage. Fuck yes. A craft beer pairings during breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in the luxury suite, you get a hot tub filled with IPA. You do not drink it, but it is absolutely filled with IPA. Surprisingly, the beer-themed hotel is not the worst thing in the world for your health. Beer's main ingredients are barley, hops, which are both very high in vitamin B and good for the skin and hair. Quote, the original IPAs were brewed with hops to preserve the drink as it traveled, so pretty safe to assume the same preservative qualities would apply to the skin, said James Walt, the co-founder and CEO of Brewdog, the hotel. And he told Travel and Leisure magazine, molten hops also smell awesome, so why wouldn't you want to douse yourself in them? Question mark.
Why not?
So bros, so we saw Stone launch, 6 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got a competitor. How crazy is this? And these guys are throwing a tap in every room and an IPA jacuzzi. It sounds amazing.
But you can't drink the IPA jacuzzi, and
would you want to though?
I would not. I feel like
Now
that's like part of the brew process though. Like I feel like they're just brewing the water as you kind of like steep yourself in it, and then they're gonna use it later. Like
you can't drink the
about
jacuzzi after
5%,
me.
bro. Why don't you come back after 90 minutes? That'll
What's
be
my
on-
buoyancy again? Like,
What's my original gravity? Yeah, about 7%.
Ugh. Yeah.
I'm sorry, we cut you off.
We
cut you off,
in the pool.
What were you saying?
Yeah,
What were you
I was just
Lawson?
saying. I was just saying, if I ever get into a IPA jacuzzi, I think that would turn it into a red ale.
Well played, sir. Well played. That is
know,
the
man,
best
like-
joke ever.
I'm 100% in on this doghouse thing though, because like I think it's literally awesome. And what else does fucking Columbus, Ohio, have to give for us? Really?
I mean, you're right. What else
Right?
is there? I mean,
Like-
I don't feel like 50 people are enough. Like, you know.
Well, 50 rooms. So you're talking about spouses, that's 100 people, right? And then you're talking about spouses and kids, that's maybe 200 people. So like I think that's pretty cool, man. If you watch the Kickstarter video, it does get like these guys get kind of like wonky, but I do like it. I don't know. We asked this in our second episode or whatever. Is Beer Hotel real life? You know, like is that a real thing? I apparently now it is. Now there's 2 of them, right? So is this a Laos? You're smiling. Is this a thing? Is this going forward? What are we talking about, man?
I mean, on a parallel line here, I saw the Ice Hotel out, and I think that was like Greenland or something like that. And I thought that's a big luge. Like, you know, you pour a shot up top, and then on your coffee table, you just break off a couple of legs, and then you're like, whoa, now you're partying in style, and you're using your environment. I mean, I think this approach, that sounds pretty cool, but it also sounds like a miserable time for any facilities type person who would have to clean the lines to 50 in addition to all the taps at the, I'm guessing, multiple pubs and or jacuzzis that require taps. So it's Skunk City potentially if it's not well maintained.
Yeah. No, I definitely see that as a problem. Because like that will really F up some shit. Like that will mess your stuff up if you've got a jacuzzi full of IPA.
Well, they also said a tub too, right? Like there's a tub full of IPA or something.
Well, that's the jacuzzi, but I'm saying it's.
Oh, I know. I thought the room, or maybe I misheard you.
Well, you can get a barley massage, right? Which is nice, and it's, I don't know.
I mean, maybe hops is good for the skin. I feel like you would walk out of there over hopped. I mean, it's like
I feel like
or dry hopped, one of the two. Like just rubbed raw with hops.
Go ahead, Lossman.
if you really love massages and you're like, yeah, I'll give this one a shot, and then you get a barley massage and then immediately get back in your car, any cop would be like, you smell like beer. And then you'd be like, no,
whoa,
I love massages. Like,
I promise you,
See,
I am
that-
under the legal drinking limit of hops. Like,
So what this again sounds like to me is like, hey man, we're gonna make a beer hotel. Oh, great idea. But what about everybody's girlfriend? Oh, we'll give them beer massages. Yeah. That's what that sounds like to me. Like I feel like that's kind of unnecessary. But
a little bit.
at the same time, you know, whatever, man. Every bit plays. So,
but you know, I feel like these places should be where other things are. So it's not. I mean, it doesn't always have to be
hey, there
about
ain't
craft beer.
but there ain't shit in Columbus, Ohio. Why would you not make that a destination?
I mean, yeah, it'd probably be more popular than the Browns and the Bengals put together, but I just don't see it being a popular destination without anything else surrounding it.
So what are they supposed to do? I mean, should they put it next to the Star Trek restaurant in Las Vegas? Because like I feel like that's a conflict of interest. People might be like, well, I might do that other thing. The bathroom does like shwink doors.
Wait, now you're onto something there, Laos, because why not put a craft beer hotel in Vegas and add a casino to it and have all of what this is doing? You've got this being built in the middle of goddamn Columbus, Ohio.
Well, definitely.
Welcome
guys,
to all you folks listening.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna edit that in. I'm sure I'll just miss it or something.
Just mash it into the front. Just mash it.
Yep, it'll be terrible.
I like to
all right.
start from the back, then work my way around to the front.
Sure you do.
Sure
Anyways,
do.
so this we're done with the beer news here. Let's go ahead and kick it off to what are you guys drinking? What are you gonna drink?
So I went ahead. I was pleasantly surprised to see a seasonal beer that I have not encountered before in my craft beer drinking days. It is Beer Camp, the Golden IPA by Sierra Nevada. Very excited.
No shit.
Yeah. It's apparently very popular. It's a Golden IPA. I like it. It's pretty cool that it's seasonal. But what I really like about it is I forget what I read yesterday. It's just got a lot of citrus, which is cool. That's always my go-to in terms of an IPA. That kind of hooked me, and I was like, okay. And it doesn't overpower you at any point. So that's also the second part I like about it most. So very tasty and good recommendation, Rye Guy.
So on the back end of that, what
You
I'm
got
gonna
it, brother.
do is- Yep. So it was Ryan that actually kind of suggested that we drank this. And the funniest thing was that I was walking through the store today, and I literally grabbed this. Like I was walking through, I was just like, oh, we need some beef, we need some cheese. I just grabbed it because I thought that we had talked about it before, and I wanted to try the Beer Camp. I've seen a bunch of pictures of it. Like we're getting tagged on social media for this beer all over the place, so we had to try it because Sierra Nevada is
Yeah.
we had to actually, kind of honor them a little bit. But I thought I was getting it as a Johnny Cool Guy here. Turns out Laos got it too, just because it is a good ass beer. So I honestly think Laos kind of hit on the head in terms of citrus. It is like a very citrusy beer. It doesn't look astronomically like anything crazy or really hoppy or really red or anything like that. A lot of the Sierra Nevada products specifically have a very like red tint to them, and they seem very overpowering and like heavy, but this just wasn't. So it does have like an extremely high floral note. Like it's definitely like you're out in the woods. I mean, it just has a very hoppy note to it. But besides that, if you're a person that appreciates an IPA and you don't want something that, like he said, is overpowering, like it's a good beer because it's just a good drinkable beer, and that's what I kind of enjoyed about it. So we don't need to both harp on it, but thank you, Sierra Nevada, for sponsoring this week's episode. And not that you did, but Ryan, go ahead.
So I know that the people that are on the podcast or listening to the podcast can't see what color this beer is that I've got in my camera, but why don't you guys try to guess what type of beer I'm drinking just by the look of the color? Because it's a nice reddish, you can almost kind of see through it, but not actually. No, you can't see through it. But why don't you guys try to think of what type of beer that is?
It looks citrusy. Yeah, it looks like it has a lot of honey in it. I've got no clue on how to do this.
Ryan, this is a fun thing. Can we ask you questions? Like, can we give you like, is it sweet? Is it sour? Is it high alcohol? Is it low alcohol? Can we ask you questions and you can tell us yes, no answers?
Yes, absolutely. I'm ready. Go for it.
Cool. All right. So,
is this considered a red?
No.
Okay. Is it?
Wait, that's a half truth.
God damn it, Ryan, no. You answered the question.
I said it's a half truth that it's a red, but it's not really a red, so no.
Okay, I caught all that part. So yep.
Okay, so Ryan, is it nitrogen based?
Yes.
Whoa, buddy, that's a big tell.
All right. My question is it produced? Well, I don't want to kill it right away. Go ahead. Is it produced by Guinness?
No.
Oh, you thought you were a big shooter, brah.
Excuse me while I have a sip of this, by the way.
Please do, because it gives it away. All right, let's see. It's a nitro, and man, how did I fucking know it was a nitro? Is it an IPA?
No.
Oh shit. Last man, go ahead. Come on.
Is it a domestic to America?
Yes.
Ooh.
Which state I won't tell you, but yes.
Is it Okay, well, because he could be holding on to this really hardcore, because like he was privy to some stuff that is not even out yet.
Yes.
All right, so is this beer for sale yet?
As of this week,
As
yes.
of right now.
Yes, you can get it. And again, the focus is the style of beer, not the name or anything else. You got to get to the style.
Well, all right. On that little confidence booster, I'm going to ask, is it a porter?
No.
Is it a pale ale?
No. You guys are getting close, kind of.
I'm pretty sure we sunk our own battleship at this point.
I mean, you got a couple styles left to go through, so.
But we're not going to yes-no them all, so I'm going to fast-track some things.
Right, I
I've
don't
been
understand
duped.
what it is that looks like that. You were playing the colors against us.
I
Give us
am.
okay, here it is. Give us a clue, man. Like we are 8 each. Each of us have 8, so we have 2 guesses left. Give us a clue.
Okay.
A solid clue.
I got a question.
Yes. Real quick, you can also have it for dessert.
Is this cake related?
Yes.
Ooh. Big circle on the cake there. Keep going, Laos.
Is it a red velvet related
Yes.
item?
Yes.
Whoa!
Yes.
Oh my God! Laos, you're on fire! Oh,
I think-
he's on fire. Hey, Bobby.
Go again. Go again.
Is this a red velvet stout?
Yes.
Oh!
Drop the confetti. You got it right. It is a red velvet stout from Balast Point Brewing Company in California. It is incredible. It is awesome. Well done. Well done, you two. You both
Hey.
narrowed it down.
I'm pretty sure
Well done.
we just discovered a goddamn news segment.
Guess what beer I'm drinking?
Oh, fuck yes. That's good. Good job.
I like that.
Way to go.
I have got to tell you, this beer,
Where'd
I had
you
it last
go?
night. I had it last night, and the color on this, it's completely red. It's not like you would, that's why you guys couldn't tell what it was. And what you didn't know it was a stout. It's a stout. It's red. It's ruby red. It's red velvet cake red, if you will. It's made with beets and oatmeal. So it's got all of those flavors rolled into one, but it's a red velvet cake flavored stout. And I got to tell you, drinking it tonight compared to last night, I'm actually picking up on more of the flavors. And it's at room temperature, not room temperature. It's like at that temperature that you're supposed to be at with the, full flavored effect. And I can taste everything going into the beer. Like if you've brewed beer before, you can taste that. And it's so freaking delicious. But I don't know. Great job, guys. That was phenomenal. So definitely check this beer out.
That was a great segment. I think we got to do that from now on. So I think we have to actually do that. And we'll just we'll try and guess it. So but you raised a good point. So you put it in the correct glass. You have the correct texture, you know what I mean? You have the correct pour. It looks appropriate, and then we should be able to guess it. I love it. I think that's great.
Yeah.
But I really got to, I got to tell you, I feel like this beer just came out of the fermenter. I really do feel like this beer just came. They just bottled this like last week. No, I can taste every bit of grain and oatmeal and beet, and I can taste it all.
So who makes it?
Balast Point out of California.
Love Balast Point.
You know what? And I'm not judging.
Colorado.
I'm not judging Beer Advocate, but everybody on here does not appreciate this because they only scored it an 81. I would at least scored it a 92. There you go. I'm gonna challenge everybody that put that thing out there for an 81. This beer is phenomenal and it's fresh. So go get it right now.
All right, got it. And I've got ours, our beer camp louse.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to move on, guys, because we literally are out of time. So we're gonna go fast. So essentially, I want to talk about the Switch review because Ryan, I tasked you with some special instructions as to kind of ask some questions. And Lausman, I want you to interject to this. So these are not on the notes, and I want you to actually go ahead and ask questions as to what do you think?
Definitely.
If we can get to it, we've got a couple new movie reviews that came out. None of these things are going to change between now and next week, so we can always analyze them at a later date. But I'd love
Absolutely.
to know. I'd love to know what you guys had question-wise for the Switch. So please.
Sort of an analyze that type of situation.
My
Correct.
my first question would be, because we all kind of tuned in that first night that you and Laos were sitting there on the couch playing it and having a field day. I was loving watching Zelda, but I gotta know, did it live up? We'll ask this question first. Did it live up to the expectation and the wait? That's what I really want to know at this point.
So I mean, Lost Man, you were there. You can talk to it.
Yeah. So did it live up to the expectation and the wait? I gotta be honest. It at first was not my cup of tea. I saw it and I was like, "Oh, aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?" I was like, "It's a little bitty thing." And then we put together the controller and I was like, "Oh." I was like, they went with the Dreamcast controller. I was like, that's odd. Because it just felt a little reminiscent of the Dreamcast controller.
But smaller, yeah?
But way smaller and almost like a little too small for my own personal comfort. However, that all being said, I loved every direction they went with the Zelda game. I mean, I thought that Breath of the Wild, I thought that was amazing. Loved the gameplay, loved it. And then started to see some functionality with the screen and the actual controls and all that. I mean, sliding those things off and sliding on the actual screen itself. That was cool. That was pretty much like, hey, PS Vita, whoops, this is what you were trying to do. Like, oh, you didn't do this? Oh, whoops, yeah, that's because you did it wrong.
Whoa, sorry.
Yeah, and that's why that's now a dead system. So that was my first take. I started apprehensive, and then I was like, I warmed up to it. I was like, okay, you did right in the things that you promised you would. Still weird controls, but I like it.
And Donnie, what about you?
So
you were tracking it and all that. So what was your first take on that?
So I always loved it. From the get-go. Like, I knew I was going to enjoy I loved it because I knew I was going to like it. I had a feeling I'd like the new Zelda, but like I'm a Zelda fanboy. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. So it doesn't really matter like what I necessarily kind of enjoyed about it. I was trying to see how this would like really adapt. So like how would I actually use the Switch? So if you haven't seen it yet, I mean, I'm holding it backwards now, but like it's not very big. Right, Ryan? I mean, like, because you haven't seen it yet. So
no, it's not.
See.
It's not very big at all. I mean, it's
so
about as big as a normal tablet, no? Or maybe a little smaller.
So let me detach these things and show you, because if you had a Galaxy S7, right, it's pretty much the same size as like a phone.
Oh, that is way smaller than I thought.
So like here's my actual hand, right? And if my hand is holding it, it's not very large.
No, right? It looked way bigger in the videos.
Yeah. So like that's how big the back end of it is. And if you're looking at like this side, it's not huge. So that's kind of interesting. Then you've got these things, the actual controllers. So if you look at it like this, I mean, I've done a adapt to you, Ryan, right? It's tiny. These are tiny things. This is tiny.
Very small.
Very small. This is so small. But if you think about it, like when you're playing, like a Nintendo game, you're playing with these little buttons, right? And you're moving this way. I mean, does it need to be much bigger than that? I don't know if you're gonna play like a 2-player. Overall, this is entirely too small.
I agree. I can. Yeah, that was a fear.
However, with this thing being so small, and if you can listen to this has been a godsend, because there's been there's no Xbox, there's no PlayStation 4, there's no Xbox One, whatever it may be, that allows my wife to say, hey man, let's go to bed, and I'll say, okay, yeah, sure, I'll be right there. And I pull this thing right off the dock and I take it to bed. She gets to watch her stories and I can play Zelda. For the time being, in terms of what games are available, I'm using this to the nth degree, and I'm loving it. And it's got a damn near 4-hour battery, which is insane.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So, given the launch of all the Nintendo DSs, the 3DS, and then eventually the DS XL, which I don't know if everyone in this situation is comfortable with.
I don't know anything about that.
The DS XL came out. It was, I mean, and these are my words, I'm not paraphrasing, a huge ass 3DS. I couldn't help but noticing when that came out, I was like, that's a good idea. I was like, the screen used to be small, now it's big. I bet people are like, oh, it's great. Looking to the future, looking deep into the future, could that be a model that comes out, the Switch XL, where you go, yeah, this isn't great for everyone. This isn't good for people who want to be on the go gaming. This is good for people who are like, look at my huge iPad and look at how many things I can see.
Yeah.
That type of Nintendo Switch. Do you think that's an option in the future?
Absolutely.
Now, Ryan, as somebody who doesn't own a Switch, would buying a XD card that's worth $80 of a game, would that be something that you would be like shying away from?
That's a great question. I think for Zelda, yeah, but for the other games, I mean, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Where's the game at? I'd be shaking it and, Did you do that? Because, I mean, they put it in like a pretty big box. It's like a regular decent sized game box. And then it's like you open it up. It's like, da-da-da-da. Like,
I knew.
Did I just get the Master Sword there? Like...
No, I knew it was gonna be bad. That's why I was like, oh, so this device right here has a 32 gig hard drive on it, right? Which is fun because an average iPhone has 64, so that's okay. So think about it like this: like this is standard, right? I don't think this is a limiting factor. I think what this is a transition from discs, right, and downloadable media, which is on the Xbox and the PS4, whatever, to obtaining hardware again, which is what Nintendo's all about, right? Because like Nintendo was always about hardware, and it was always about, oh, you had to buy the cassette. This brings it back to the cartridges essentially, which I'm not against.
I'm not either, because you scratch a disc and you can't play it anymore. But a cartridge.
Good luck scratching a motherfucking cartridge.
I had a friend for Xbox 360. He scratched one of his Halo discs, and just like the third and fourth level were unplayable. And he's like, "It's a good thing I'm already past him because I don't need to go back there." And I was like, "What? Like that's a real life problem?"
It's a first world problem, is what it is.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right. Well, I don't want to dwell on this too much, but Ryan, did you have any further questions? Because like overall, man, like I'm very impressed with this. Like Dane went out and got one of these, just so you guys know. Like he went out and physically. You didn't see that, Miles?
Oh, I commented on. I was the first one, but I don't know if we were supposed to blast it on the Brittany doesn't listen, so we'll be all right.
He went out and got one. It's a game changer, man. Because like I've already used it 1,000 times, just like untraditionally. Dane may be, in Baby City, but that's fine because in between cryings and sleepings, he can just sit there and go, and then when he's done, you slide it right on the dock and it charges it and everything's great. So for everything that we were promised on this thing, in terms of at least Zelda, I'm satisfied. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm 100% in on this, and I'm happy for it. So
I have another question.
Yeah, man.
So I was asked by somebody who heard about the live stream. They said, "Oh man, Zelda's great. That's awesome. I watched it. I loved it. It was cool." They go, "But dude, what are your thoughts on, friggin' Mario Kart?" They go, "Is it just?" And this is the question that he asked me. He said, "Is it just gonna be same old Mario Kart?" And I sat there for a second. I was like, at first, I was like, "Well, yeah." I was like, it's the same Mario Kart. We had it on Nintendo 64. It was the same. We had it on Super Nintendo. It was the same. We had the same old Mario Kart on GameCube. Yeah, it was the same. Well, Double Dash is weird at best. Then we had Wii U. That was the same. Then we've got Wii and then Wii U. And now we've got the Switch. And so my question and what I'm boiling down to is, Is it gonna be the same?
What I'm projecting is that it's going to be very much different because now you'll have a bunch of switches that can actually link together. In addition to the Wi-Fi thing, everything that was built for Nintendo up until this point was built for the Wii U, which is rudimentary. It was very much behind the Switch. So I think that what's going to happen very soon is that we'll have. I think the way that Mario Kart's going to work is it'll be online, fast-paced, very much aggressive.
Almost like a Call of Duty type of situation where it's just.
But for Mario
jump
Kart,
and
can
go.
you imagine how cool that would be if you could just
Yeah.
pop into Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Okay.
awesome.
That's kind of what I'm thinking is it's gonna turn into. But
Well, and the graphics though are
Well-
unlike any other Nintendo
Yeah.
system. I mean, it has to be obviously for many
So-
reasons, but I mean, that just watching you guys play that the other night was just incredible. I mean,
on our
the-
channel, Craft
the grass
Brews,
was the grass was swaying in the
moving,
breeze.
yeah.
And I mean, just it felt very realistic, almost like if you're playing a PS4 or an Xbox game, and it was so like immersive, like you just really
Yeah.
felt like you were in it. It
Yeah.
was great. So
Yeah, so what Ryan is trying to say is that tune into us on Twitch. We have a gamer channel. It's called Craft Twitchers. We will be playing a bunch of Zelda and stuff, but Ryan brings up a good point. Like we tried to really just like push the limits and see kind of like from a novice standpoint what was going on, and we had a good time. So please tune into us there. We will play a whole lot more Switch and a whole lot more Zelda. That's what we do, eh?
hey,
Extremely impressed. There's been a lot of things that have being compared to it. We talked about Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a great open world game, right? This is a great open world game, but it's got the art, it's got the limitations, it's got the fact that you can pick this up and take it anywhere you want to and slap back down on the home base. I mean, that's cool, man. And I've already used it 3 or 4 times in relevant scenarios. Go get your hair cut, go to the Publix, whatever. It works out. So
now pertaining to Zelda, real quick, I gotta ask: is playing some of the bosses? I mean, are they like what the other Zelda games that you've played? I mean, is it more intense? Is it more difficult? What's the gameplay like there?
So the problem is that like literally you can go from, hey, I just started the game, and you can go to the bad guy like straight away. And there's already been guys on YouTube that have done that, and they're great. That's fine, good for them. But I've literally I took 2 schools of thought. The first time when we played it for the first time, I literally just deviated and just went wild to explore, and I just got slaughtered every step of the way. Now I'm actually trying to fulfill quests, and I'm still getting my ass handed to me every 2 steps that I walk, because the game is hard, man. It's real hard. So what this game kind of teaches you to do, unlike any other Zelda game, is that a Zelda game typically says, hey man, get this shield, get this sword, go fight these guys, go this way, fight these guys, go that way. This is saying, hey man, do whatever you want to. And that's kind of scary because I went 4 hours that way and just got slaughtered every second. So when I came back and tried to fulfill some quests, I actually got some hearts, got some stamina, got some armor, and could hang. So good question. Lost
I
Man?
can't wait to play.
Lost Man played the first like 3 hours with me.
Yeah. The only other question I would say is almost a counter question to what you just finished on. Now, a game like Skyrim, I brought that up several times on the actual live stream. A game like Skyrim, they do give you some of that flexibility, like you're talking about. They say, hey, this is what you're kind of supposed to do. They give you a lot of books, and they don't feel like parsing that out, but they give you a lot of books and say, hey, you can figure this out, and you can eventually get there and do all this, get that done. But my question to you is, so they give you the kind of freedom that you want, and you're obviously going to fail if you try and do some of these weird things before you can learn how to actually complete them. But my question to you is so what makes Zelda a little bit different in terms of, encouraging you to learn, maybe follow some quests? How do they make that different than Skyrim?
So what I think makes it different from Skyrim a little bit is that Skyrim gives you like a very textual, so it still is like hand holding, honestly. But the difference is that in Skyrim you will kind of grow exponentially in terms of like your character, but in Breath of the Wild, what I've noticed, and I've only played for 5 or 6 hours, is that you will continue to grow in terms of you'll find new weapons and things, but your character will not grow unless you invest the time to grow that character. So what that means is that you have to accomplish shrines to get shrine orbs, and then once you have shrine orbs, you contribute them to X amount of rewards, and then as you're rewarding yourself with hearts and stamina and other growth, which is different from Skyrim because you can kind of get all those things.
You can get them all and not grow. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I kind of did, because I played Breath of the Wild for like 4 hours and didn't accomplish the first task. So, but that was just kind of like figuring out what it was that the story was all about. So that's kind of approach that I took to it. So next week we've got a lot of trailers to talk about, because we've got things like Pirates and Alien Covenant and the Life trailer. Lost, did you see the Life trailer? God, terrifying. I know for a fact that Dane and Ryan will both want to chime in on that. So maybe we'll just leave all of our trailers for next week.
Next week's show will be deemed the trailer park for all the trailers that we got going on.
Anyways, Mr. Lausman, where can they find you?
The good people out there in the interwebs can find me at Mr. Lausman on my Twitter.
You can find all of us at the Brewmasters Club. Basically, just hashtag Brewmasters Club Cast. So Brewmasters Club Cast, and you can find us there on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, just about everything. If you want to text Laus specifically, it's hashtag Mr. Lausman or at Mr. Lausman. If you want to talk to me specifically, or anyone that has to work with the Brewmasters Club crew, it's at Brewmasters Club on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. If you want to talk to Ryan, at BroodBoy813. But we just appreciate you guys being here. So thank you so much, and we will talk to you next week, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, everyone. Thank you so much again. Appreciate having you.
You've been listening to the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club, Craft Brews and Geek News. Grab a beer with the guys and be sure to subscribe to catch additional content. Add this podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. Chat with the guys on Twitter at Brewmasters Club and Facebook and online at www.brewmasters.club. Cheers!